Beautiful. Welcome, welcome. We're going to let everybody into the Zoom room. If you're able to, I want you to put your cameras on. I always say chin up, crown on, cameras on while we are here, and say hello in the chat. Nicole's coming on. Aveline, hopefully I said that right. I love that. I love that name. Suzette is here. I thought I saw Melanie was here. Welcome, ladies, to Big Queen Money. Everybody's like slowly jumping on. I love it. Pageant gals are always on time. We are like always on time for the group. I am so stoked. Please do me a favor. Tell me where you are from. Where are you tuning into today's training from? Let me know in the chat. If you've never done a training with me before, you'll see that these are very interactive. They're very experiential. I find that the way that you get the best results and the best insight is by being active, is by participating. And I don't do no boring trainings in my world. It doesn't matter if it's free or paid. You are going to get so much out of being here, especially because you're here live. Even if you're watching the replay, totally okay. But we're gonna have an incredible time. Amazing. Aloha from Hawaii. Savannah's jumping on. Tuscan, Arizona, first timer. Nashville, Tennessee. We got all the states here. The Netherlands. Melanie's like, got to keep camera off, but I'm engaging. I know Melanie's like working around work to be here, so that is totally okay. North Carolina, Tennessee, Colorado, Virginia. We've got so many states. We've got so many states. I love, love, love this. Welcome, California. Amazing. Natalie's coming on. Natalie's from Texas. Welcome, ladies, to Big Queen Money. If it is your first time, I'd love to know. If you're new to the pageant gal world, we had quite a lot of you. I think we have over 110 women registered for today. So I am so excited to bring you this. This is a two-day event, Big Queen Money. We are live today and tomorrow at the same time, 5 p.m. EST. All of this is being recorded, so you can come back and watch it as many times as your heart desires. First time on Zoom, I'm a new pageant gal. New gals are always welcome. Amazing. And then I'd love to know who is in VIP. Now, for those that don't know, VIP is happening right after. This is going to be 2 weeks of additional coaching support from me. That includes two bonus calls the next two Mondays. So I think it's April 20th and 27th. The next two Mondays. If I get the days wrong, I apologize, but it's the next two Mondays and 2 weeks of Telegram support. So everything we're learning in Big Queen Money, days 1 and 2, you get me like one-on-one in a very small group for just $33. That is insane. Yes, Natalie's VIP, Nicole is VIP, Melanie's VIP. I'm going to drop the VIP link because I was like, I don't think the gals know that there's VIP. Because I was like, if they knew about the VIP and how you get to ask me your direct questions and submit a survey where I'm going to audit your business or your money making goals, and where we have two additional calls, I was like, surely everyone would be joining. Yes, Savannah, you could still join VIP. I just dropped the link in the chat. I'm going to drop it again. One woman show today. I don't got any team support, so I'm going to drop the link in there. And what I'm super excited about is not only do we have our calls for the next 2 days, and of course, if you join us for VIP, then we've got 2 weeks together. But I'm also doing something today that I don't think I've ever done for a training. So you want to make sure you stay till the end because I have a resource for all of you that is completely for free. That is like your homework from today in a doc that you get to have and put everything, all of your notes and lessons in one place. So that is going to be a separate link I will drop towards the end, but I'm going to give you some homework, but I know you all can do it. So let's go into it. Let me remember how to do my training. Okay, I would love to know, as everyone is still jumping in, Christine is joining on. I would love to know, why did you say yes to being here today? We had like a massive influx of pageant gals over the last few months. Like we have over 3,000 new followers, which is amazing. And I'm incredibly proud of and grateful for. And part of what I do, first, I want to know, I'm not going to talk about me just yet. I want to know, why did you say yes to being here today? Because this is not just a pageant training. This is not about interview. We're not talking about runway. We're not talking about your platform. We're talking about something so much bigger than that. And so, what is it about for you? Were you just curious? Were you like, hey, I'm in pageants. I have such a skill set. I want to earn more income? Or was it, I already have my own side hustle and I want to make this more consistent and bigger and repeatable? Is it that you just love me and you're like, whatever Maria does, I'm in, which is totally okay too, by the way. This is amazing, Savannah. Super close to six figures in my full-time business last year and determined to do it again in 2026. I know you will. Six-figure mark consistently. Nicole says pageantry kind of sucks in my opinion, and you're the first person I saw who's talking about it. Let me tell you, some people were not happy about my last couple of posts about money and pageantry, and I was like, you guys, I'm just telling it like it is. So if you're not mad, if you're mad at it, I mean, you can be with the other people, or you can rise with me. Launched my coaching business, love the support. Natalie, who's one of our former Empire clients, is here, and she's in one-on-one. She is in coaching. New to the pageant world, building up my brand and my platform. That's completely okay. You're going to get a lot of insight from today and tomorrow. Even if it's not about monetizing for you yet or right now, there's so much that you're going to learn around mindset, identity, content, being able to influence people. New to the pageant world, Christine's launching her coaching business. Yeah, there's going to be so much here. And whether or not you're one of my gals who is building your brand or you're in pageant prep, there is going to be something here for each of you, and something that I will also, offer you all to continue on depending on where your goal's at right now. Camelia is here. She's building her chakra dance business. We got lots of amazing, incredible gals here. So let's dive in. I want to respect your time. P.S. It is like a gorgeous day outside today. Like the weather finally turned over. So we're gonna have y'all out of here in 60 minutes. I promise. So the reason why most of you are here is because period point blank, you are a queen. And a queen knows that she is meant for more. She's meant for more impact. She's meant for more opportunities. And with that, for the next couple of days, and for those in VIP, the next couple of weeks, more looks like more income, more time control, and more freedom. And bigger picture is that you're here to make it happen now. So what you're no longer settling for, and I'd love to know which of these three, or maybe you have something else that you're calling this, like you're done at this moment. You're no longer settling for soft goals in your current income or your current results, right? You're not settling for where you're at. You're no longer settling for a 9 to 5 or an hourly rate. And maybe you're just no longer settling for waiting to feel ready to start. Like you are here to be a queen, you're here to have more, and you're here to make it happen now. And that's like you're going to hear a little bit about my story. That's very much so how I am. I'm like, I don't want to wait 10 years to win pageants and make a ton of money. Like I want to have that happen now. So I'd love to know, which of these are you no longer settling for? And you're like drawing a line in the sand. We're going to have a before big queen money, and then we're going to have an after big queen money. We've got Mackenzie coming on. We have such a great group. There are 20 women on live. For my first year directly competing, taking this year to build my brand and my career. Such a great idea. Kanaya, hopefully I'm saying that right. And then on top of it, welcome, Mackenzie. The things that you're also no longer believing, which are just as important as the things that you're not settling for. You're not believing that it has to take time, that it has to take more followers, or that you need any sort of proof to earn more right now. Like you don't need any more proof. You don't need any more validation. These are the things we're letting go of. We've got everybody coming on. Hold on. We've got Mackenzie here, Bianca here. So incredible. So these are the things that you're no longer settling for. These are the things that you're no longer believing. And I want you, P.S., who's here? I don't know if anyone here is taking notes. If you're taking notes, write them down. Like I want you to go old school, pen and paper, because what you're going to unlock over the next 2 days, it doesn't even necessarily matter exactly what you write down, but it is going to be so powerful in shifting this moment for you to forever see not just what you're creating in pageants, but what you're creating for yourself in such a bigger, different way. And I love these line in the sand moments that we get to have. All the notes, amazing. So good, Savannah. Okay. Let's go on to what Big Queen Money actually is. So this is not hustle. And this is not a motivational speech. What I'm not going to do today and over the next 2 days, and for those that are in VIP, and just because we had like, I don't know, 10 of you just join on, I'm going to drop the VIP link, which is 2 weeks after our live event where you have Telegram with me. We have 2 bonus calls. I'm going to drop the link there and you will get the details all sent to your email. But what I'm not about to do with any of you is teach you some fluff BS. Like, this is not just, oh, we're going to claim it and have fun and hold hands and sing a happy song. Big Queen Money is really a standard that you get to rise to. And here's the thing, when we're raising your standard, nobody's going to do that for you. That is something that you get to say and set and do for yourself. So, day one, we're talking about Big Queen identity and the internal standard you have to rise to. And then day two, we're going to talk about the external standard and the framework to set you up to actually get the results that you want. So, strategy really only works when the woman in queen who's doing it believes she deserves the result. And that's why we're going to start with the inner work today in elevating your internal standard. And then tomorrow, we're going to do the external standard. All right. Now, about me, a lot of you said that it is your first time working with me, training with me, which I'm very grateful. And then we also have a lot of returning gals here. But I am Maria, the pageant gal. I am the CEO. The Pageant Gal is now incorporated. I've been doing pageant coaching for just over 7 years now. I really didn't take my business like super seriously for the first 2 years, was just kind of like throwing stuff on the internet and having a really good time while COVID hit and while I was still working as a nurse. But more importantly, I also started my pageant journey about 10 years ago. This is my decade in the industry. I went on and I won local pageants, national, international. I've had 6 pageant wins over 10 years, coached so many amazing clients. We have an incredible community following of over 100,000 followers across all platforms on Instagram, on TikTok. And what's super incredible is that not only do I get to do this work full time in pageantry and also not just as a pageant coach, but also now on the business and brand building side, because not only have we hit over $550,000 in revenue, but we've maintained, who was it? So I think it was it Savannah? Someone had said, yeah, Savannah said that she's about to hit her first 6 figures. We hit 6 figures and we've been maintaining 6 figures and multiple 6 figures for 4 years in a row now. So, what I'm going to tell you all today is not just something that I've been doing for a day or a year. Like, this has been something that I have been consistently working on and building and pouring my heart and soul into in a way that I've been able to do this full time, that I don't have to work for someone else, that it's Monday, it's beautiful out today, and I got to go to an acupuncture appointment. And then I went shopping for our retreat clients. And then I checked in with my clients on my phone. And it was beautiful. And then after this, I'm going to go for a walk with my husband and my French bulldog. Peep the French bulldog earrings I just bought. Cheryl Kazera is here. But here's the thing that I want to say about where I came from just a couple of years ago, because it was in 2023 that I actually left my nursing job. And when you think about 2023, that feels like it was just yesterday. And I can remember the days working full time as a registered nurse. I used to work at hospice. And I remember doing the rotating 12-hour shifts where I would clock in and do nights, do 12-hour nights, to do 12-hour days, 8-hour shifts in the mix of there. We would be working weekends. We just had Easter. I would be working holidays. And then, of course, because that's just the way working in nursing and several jobs is, I would sometimes have to do 16-hour shifts or overnight or overtime shifts as well. And I was exhausted, like 24/7. And I love this phrase, like I was exhausted to the point where like sleep didn't matter. Like it didn't matter how much you sleep, like you wake up and you're still exhausted. And I was in my mid 20s, my mid to late 20s. On top of it, because you're working so much for someone else and you got to like do the commuting time and then you got to do the prep time, it feels like you never have enough time. And bigger picture, I remember being a nurse full time and feeling like I had no idea what the heck I was doing. Like I had no roadmap for building a brand. If you talk to any other pageant coach in the industry, they're going to tell you, no, don't ask me. You can't take my clients. I can't help you. And so I had no roadmap. I had no example of how to do this. I had no real guidance of how to build a business or any evidence that people would pay me. And when I tell you that I would go back and do it all over again in a heartbeat. I would work harder, I would work faster, I would invest more to be where I am now. Because even though back then I didn't have any guarantees, I had no idea what if it would work out for me or how to do this. Like nobody in my family runs a business. And let me tell you, when I understand, like I don't, how many of you have a job right now? Drop the word job in the chat. Totally okay. There's no shame around it. Whatever it is that you do. Got a few people popping in. Like, gals, when I tell you, I remember it being a 12-hour shift, days. So 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then you'd work like 2 or 3 in a row. Sometimes, if you're crazy, you'd work like 4. And then I remember getting home. And when I eventually started investing in my brand and business, it's like then your mentor tells you, like, go post a piece of content. Okay, now you have to go reply to all the DMs. Okay, now you have to go and answer the emails. Like, gals, I get it. It's a lot of freaking work. And I remember it like it was yesterday. That feeling of like, my God, I love this so much, but can I just be on the other side so I can have the freedom, the breathing room, the money wins, the travels, like the luxury? Like, can I just skip over the hard work? So when I tell you this didn't just happen for me, this really was a standard I had to rise to. This really was something that I had to have so much belief and faith in myself that it was going to happen. And it was decision after decision that I had to prioritize. And when I tell you, I would do it all again in a heartbeat. And the reason why I'm so loud and I'm so bold about it online is because I know that if you had someone who actually supported you, who helped you ignite your vision, who helped you with the roadmap and steps, that you would do it too. So, you are here for something bigger, and it's time that we set you up for this. I just saw Shakori join online. Hello, Miss Shakori. So it's time that we set you up so that big queen money isn't optional, it's inevitable. So I want you to drop the word big queen money if you are ready to go into day one. Hello. You're here for something bigger. We're here to unlock it and we're here to make it happen. If you know me and the way I coach, I don't like things to be optional. I don't like to know that I might not win. I'm like, really, can we talk for real? While I say this is not about hustle, and trust me when I say I really do mean that, but like, I'm a competitor. Like, I'm hungry. I'm like a shark. I want to eat. I want to like know that what I'm doing I'm gonna win on the other side. And that's really what I want to share with you is like no fluff today. Like I actually want you all to win because I know the feeling of being a competitor and I know the feeling of losing. And I don't want anyone to lose. We're gonna make your winning and your big queen money inevitable. Amazing. Everybody's ready. So the very first thing that we have to do when it comes to having and stepping into your big queen identity is we have to break the ceiling. We have to break the ceiling. I want you to like write this down and underline it because your current income, your current financial reality, and the results you have right now are truly shaped by your environment, your circumstances, and all of the things that are happening around you, right? If you think about it, when babies are born, they're not born with limits. They're not born with like, oh, I can only have so many toys or I can only have so much playtime. No, they're like, I want to have all the playtime. I want to have all the toys. I'm invincible. I can do anything. But it's like the environment around them starts to shape the beliefs. I was actually at a dinner event this weekend and I was sitting next to my 18-year-old cousin. And throughout the dinner, I couldn't believe how many times she told me she was never going to be able to buy a house. She was never going to be able to retire. She was never going to have enough money. She couldn't do all of these things that I was like, girl, I'm like, you're so young and like she's intelligent. I'm like, oh my gosh, she can do anything. She's so social. But I could hear all of the beliefs that were put on her by other people around her, and her life has barely even started. And the thing is, that's happened to all of us. Drop yes if you understand what I'm saying and you feel that you have those beliefs on you. We all do. We all do. I do, you do, everyone does. So the first step, yes, thank you, ladies. Yeah, let's be honest about it. We're going to get close today. The first step is really acknowledging them. Because if we can't acknowledge and be aware of the limitations we have on ourselves, then we can't actually make a change. And I want to, yeah, we have to face our giants. Yeah. So I'm going to share the story of the grasshopper. How many of you drop a yes in the chat if you've heard this story before? It's an analogy, but it's incredible. And it really did open my mind every single time I had to make a decision about the the reality and the goals I had. Yes, Melanie has. Okay, awesome. I'm still going to share it. So there's a grasshopper, and grasshoppers can jump like up to 10 or 20 feet high. But this one grasshopper was put into a jar, and the jar was only 3 feet tall. And so the grasshopper, when it would jump up to 3 feet. It would jump up to 3 feet, it would hit the ceiling and go back down. And after a certain amount of time, the jar gets removed. And this grasshopper that has all of the abilities and all of the capability to jump up 20 feet in the air once that jar is removed only jumps 3 feet and back down. Not because it can't, not because it doesn't know how, not because it doesn't have the internal capabilities, but because it was only conditioned to jump to 3 feet and never higher and never more. That is your ceiling. Like that is the ceiling that we all have on us. It's this conditioning that technically isn't really there, that isn't our full truth, but that we've decided that's all we can do. So if we break that ceiling and we actually acknowledge we can jump so much higher and we can do so much bigger and life gets to be so much better, then we get to do all of the amazing stuff tomorrow and in VIP over the next 2 weeks and actually step into what is that more? What is that bigness? Anytime, by the way, ladies, if something lands for you and you're like, wow, breakthrough, that is amazing, I want you to drop the word, let's see, drop the word queen in the chat if something lands for you and you're like, yes, that resonates, queen, I got it. It's like a period moment, okay? That way I know and I can like make sure my analogies and things hit. Okay, amazing. Everyone's saying that that one hits. So first we're going to go through what I see as the three identity ceilings that you might have one, you might have all three, and none of them are bad. Again, we're just bringing awareness to them. The first one is the pageant industry ceiling. This is a unique one. And again, like it really does take someone who is obsessed with pageantry to know about this. So the first ceiling is the pageant industry ceiling, where pageants have told you that you have to be of service, that you have to volunteer, but making money is bad. And for some of you, I understand contractually, you can't earn money or you can't work with certain types of people during the time that you have a title. I get it. Don't go get lawsuits against your pageants. Like, I totally get it. But what it does is it conditions you to say you can work for free and volunteer, but don't make money. So all you ever end up doing when you start shifting into building your brand, when you start to want to speak on stages, when you start to want to work with clients, you never end up feeling confident to charge for your work because you just are conditioned, oh, I have to work for free. The second identity ceiling is the undercharging ceiling. So this is where your pricing, and PS, if you're a gal, maybe you don't have an offer or a clientele just yet, but maybe we're thinking about like sponsorships or fundraising ideas, or even like when it comes to your jobs and the jobs that you go after, these still apply. The undercharging ceiling is where you're pricing your offer or services like you need permission. It's like you need to know someone will say yes, and then you'll be taken seriously, and then you'll raise your prices, even though you're an expert, even though you're like incredible and you know you can change someone's life. But you're charging so low that you're waiting for someone else to take you seriously before you take yourself seriously. So your prices stay low, your income stays low, and you don't end up selling your work or your brand as often because you don't take it as seriously. That hits deep. hmm And then there's also the third one is the visibility ceiling. And I want to know which one, if not all three. I want you to type in the chat. Which ceiling do you feel like you have on you? The visibility ceiling is probably one of the biggest ones that I see for a lot of the women that I've chatted with in pageants, that have won pageants or are competing. It's the visibility ceiling. It's the fear of being too much. It's the fear of being judged, being too bold, being too out there, disappointing people. That if you take this journey seriously, and you fall short, you're going to disappoint yourself. Or if you take this journey and goal seriously and you actually say and do the things that you want, people will judge you and say, "Oh, why are your prices so high? Why are you doing that? You need a plan B." Like that's scary. So what do? You never take it seriously to begin with. So you just don't fully go all out. The pageant ceiling, 100%, yeah, and definitely the visibility ceiling. I'll share with you all a quick story. I had a reel go viral. I don't know how many of you found me from that reel. It was posted just last week about how nobody talks about money in the pageant industry. And I shared my story. I was like, you guys, I literally spent $5,000 my first month that I won an international pageant. That's not me talking crap. That's not me bashing a system. That was the truth. Like that was 100% the truth. Like I had opportunities, some were paid for, some were not, and that's how much I spent. Do you know that I got some pretty interesting messages about that post saying how people weren't going to send me clients, that it was a conflict of interest, that obviously like I'm sharing negativity, right? So it's like and I will say like I genuinely don't care. I'm like you guys, I'm literally just telling my truth and I'm helping women rise to new standards. If that bothers people, I can't help it. But how many of you would not even dare to make a post like that because you're like, oh my gosh, if my director or a title holder or a judge or a coach messaged me, like that would ruin my life. Yeah, or I feel guilty for charging. I feel guilty or charging when a lot is expensive. Definitely visibility. Okay, we got a mix of everything. And the whole idea is just realizing that these are all just self-imposed, that it's just like the glass jar. We feel like we're there, or we make up reasons why it's there, even though they're not. And the whole idea is getting to decide that this doesn't have to be your ceiling that you're allowing, that there gets to be another way that you get to do things. So let's talk about what's really happening when it comes to having these ceilings, because I get it for some of you. You're like, but it's hard times. Like people can't afford it. Or this or that. People will judge me, da da da. I can't do it, right? All it's saying is, I can't do this. I can't do it. It's not possible. But here's what's really happening. When you're undercharging and under earning, and when you're really what you're doing is you're not taking your goals seriously. If you're not making the money you want right now, you're not taking your goals seriously. And it's not a reflection of things are expensive and people can't afford it. It's really a reflection of your belief in self-worth. That's 100% what it is. Because when you say, oh, someone else can't afford it, you're projecting your own insecurity onto them. And insecurity is like the death of society in pageants, in business, and in life. But when you have full self-worth and full belief in yourself that you can do something no matter who else is around you, you show up and you take your goals a lot more seriously. And then when it comes to the visibility side of it, I need to move the chat here. The chat is popping off. I love it. Melanie and Natalie, yes, we got Elaine joining the chat here. When it comes to not wanting to be visible, and when you think about the women who are and why you're not, the thing is, other women don't necessarily have more experience than you. They're not more ready. It's not even that they have more followers. They're just more decided. They're not decided that other people have money or not. They're just decided that they're going to do it and they're going to show up more seriously. I remember the biggest belief that I had to overcome when I was growing my business was that I'm not Miss Universe. Like I don't compete very well in like the Grand Slam pageant systems. Or I'm not a Miss USA. Why would someone hire me when like you could literally, instead of being here, each of you could go hire Miss Universe or Miss USA right now. But you're on Maria the Pageant Gal, who's from like Windsor, Ontario, on my training right now. When they're a Miss Universe is like offering their sessions and coaching. I didn't decide I was going to be Miss Universe. I didn't decide that anybody had more money. I just decided I'm going to go all out and I'm going to do what I want anyways. And the whole idea is to know that it's not about what's outside of you. It's not about what other people are doing. It's about your belief in your decision and changing your belief, like really anchoring it in and changing your decision and deciding what you want. That is available to you right now. You don't have to know how. You don't have to know what people are going to do or not do, but you do get to decide what is my belief and what is my decision. And so I want you to know and share honestly in the chat. We're just going honest right from the start. What are you waiting for right now? What are you waiting for to allow yourself to want more, to go after more, and to actually earn more? Are you waiting for society to have an upturn and all of a sudden everyone's got, I don't know, more money? You know, maybe gas prices to go down? Like, what are you actually waiting for? Is it tax season and you're like, okay, after tax season, then I'll charge the prices I want. What are you waiting for right now? And every one of you here, I want you to be honest with yourself. Are you waiting for, okay, I'm waiting for someone to sign up and then I'll invest in myself. I'm waiting for my next paycheck to come and then I'll start promoting my offer. What is the weight that's stopping you from fully owning your belief and fully deciding what you want? I'm waiting to win nationals to feel like I made it or I'm worth listening to. Mm-hmm. Same here. So a couple people waiting to win. I've launched, but I'm not being consistent enough, or being distracted is an issue, which is a pattern that comes up, right? That the pattern that protects us. I love Natalie. She's like, I'm not waiting anymore. I don't even want to wait anymore. I was waiting for others to invest in me first before I invested in myself. Hmm. It's important to know, right? If we can't call ourselves out on our own stuff, like guarantee success won't come. And it's so important to say, and we do it with a lot of love and grace and just self-awareness. It's like, what are we waiting for? I will say I didn't win an international pageant before I started my business, right? I can't tell you how many times I would invest in myself or in my business or in my brand, and then it was like I would get a series of no's. It was like everybody after the investment I made would say no, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, did I just make like the worst decision of my life?" And the truth is it's no, because my belief and my decision are on me. And I'm going to keep going no matter what. So let's actually talk about how to go about doing this and the identity shift that we're going to make. Because you don't have to wait to make money or to build a bigger brand or to have more clients to feel like you have it now. You get to decide first. And the women who have the belief, the women who have the decision, this is what they're doing. They're setting their dream reality and their goals without limits, and they're not lowering it, right? They're saying, like, this is what I want. I'm not going to lower it just because it's not here yet. I'm going to set it and I'm going to own it. They're going to talk about their goals, and we're actually going to go through a process to do this without shrinking or flinching, right? So they say the things that they want, and they're not like, oh, but like, it's okay if it doesn't happen. Or, oh, like what you're doing is good. They post and promote themselves without waiting for permission or waiting for another day. And more importantly, they show up every day for what they want because they know the way that they show up now will create the results in life and income that they want 6, 12, and 24 months from now. And actually, I'd asked one of my gals, Natalie, who's been like so popping in the chat. Natalie, you can drop your I want you to drop your @ in the chat so everyone can go follow you. She's Pageant Hearts Consulting on Instagram. I wanted to ask Natalie to speak only because Natalie said the most incredible thing to me. Oh my gosh, I couldn't see all of your faces before. Now I see them. My chat thread was like closed a little bit. So I want Natalie just to unmute because Natalie did not have a business last year. Natalie did not have a business. She did not have extra money last year. And the most incredible thing that she had said after we'd been working together for just over like 6 months, and she started getting clients and having people sign on to her programs, like what she had said was that, Maria, like to be completely honest, I really didn't think it was possible at first, but I did it anyways, and I showed up for it. So Natalie, I don't know if you're able to unmute yourself and just kind of, can you speak to like
I
the
am.
shift?
I'm here.
Okay, amazing. Can you just speak to like
Yes.
deciding what you want and then what it actually felt like when it came?
I think I was just afraid more than anything because it was something that I had never done. It's something that I had dreamt of doing, and I knew I was capable of doing it, but I just didn't know how to make it happen. And so when I started, obviously I was starting from like the grassroots up. And then I was referred to Maria by a really good friend of mine and started
Mhm.
working with her. And then I just kind of started seeing everything happening over time, and I've seen it build and grow, and I've started to realize like, hey, I can actually do this. And I think for so long, you said something about having the belief in yourself has to be there first. And I truly think that that was what I was struggling with the most, is thinking that I was capable of doing it and that I was worthy of doing it and that people would actually want to listen to what I had to say. And so it's really been amazing to see it come to fruition for me and to see that it's something, if I just don't give up, that it can happen. And that's my plan and that's my goal, is just to keep going and keep doing what I'm doing.
I'm so proud. I'm gonna toot Nat's horn just a little bit. Thank you, Nat. I know you're like in the middle of work and being here while you can, but like Natalie also hasn't won a national title. Natalie is a queen, don't get me wrong. Natalie is a state title holder who won, I think, 10 or 11 years ago. And Nat is in her, I don't want to age you, Nat, but I believe Nat is like 49 or 50. You know what I mean? Like she has every reason to say no. She's got a full-time job. She hasn't been in pageants in quite a few years. She doesn't have the national title that others have. But now she's here. And honestly, to be completely honest, like Natalie's charging more than what most standard pageant coaches charge. She's not charging like buckets and buckets and buckets of money by any means. And her clients love her. And she's doing it her way. And she's able to build something that affirms the belief she has in herself. And I love having clients come up and speak because I get it. It's like it's so easy to look at someone who has it full time and they're like, okay, like, yeah, you can do it. But a year ago, Nat didn't have clients. But what she did have was the decision to move, to invest in herself, to believe that she knew she could help make an impact in other people's lives. She didn't know how, so she got the support. And had she waited, I can promise you, Natalie, you just wouldn't have the results that you have today. And I love, okay, everyone's following you now, Nat. You got a lot of amazing women. So, what we're going to start with, and then we're going to go into the reflection, is in order to really shift the identity, we have to start with expanding what we believe to be possible without limits. And the first thing that we want to do, and again, because what happens when we say the number that we want? That's when all of the stuff comes up. All I want you to do is write in the chat if there were no limits on what you could do, on what you could earn, on the big queen money that you could make. And if you knew that on this day, what day is it? April 13th of 2026, that the number you wrote down now, you were going to look at December 31st of 2026 and you were going to go, oh my gosh, I literally cannot believe I wrote that number down and I had no idea how it was going to happen, but it just did. What number would you write that you want to make this year? If you didn't have to know how, if it didn't matter if you won a national title or not, or an international title, if it didn't matter if you just launched or not, because here is the honest to goodness truth. You cannot expect to make more money if you don't respect it, if you don't respect talking about it. Money doesn't come to those who are afraid of it. If you're like, I can't talk about how much money I want to make, that's bad. It's never going to come your way. I don't have the income in business that I have right now because I was like, oh no, like I can't talk about it. That's scary. No, I do because I'm like, I want to make this happen. So I need to logically say it out loud. Mrs. Texas International, yes. So if it's 250K, if saying the annual number feels like wild to you, how much do you want to be earning per month? 100K per year. I know Savannah said she's about to hit her 6 figures and make it consistent. What is the number? This is the start. 10K month, so that's 120K per year. 5K per month. No amount of money is bad or good. And the more that you see and type this out, the more normal it gets to be. I remember the days where I would put, I just want to make 5K per month. I'm like, I was like, I don't need to make like 6 figures. I think I would say I want to make like 75K, but I was like, I just want to make like a little bit more than my nursing amount. And then all of a sudden I blew past that amount. And I was like, wait, I was like, I don't want to just make 75K. I was like, what? No. I was like, I can make way more than that. If I make more, I get to impact more people. I get to have more freedom and more opportunities. And guess what? I'm at a place now where I'm saying my goal is I'm going to be making 500K per year, 400, 500K. I said it last year, it hasn't happened yet, but I know I'm on the track to getting there. Need to break the 220K ceiling and then 333K and then 7 figures. Yeah, so 5K, 100K. So now that we've claimed the number, let's go into where the shift gets to happen. If this were your number, so 5K per month, 10K, 100K, 250K, whatever the amount is, how would it feel right now? What would change in the way that you felt and who you were today if this number was now in your account? It was a reality. You don't need the title. You don't need it to be next year. How would it feel? Write the word in the chat. How it would feel, what would change? I'm gonna take a drink of water because the sun is hitting me. Would it feel like I could just breathe? So accomplished, no stress. And if that's the feeling, what would change about your lifestyle? Not necessarily just like how you would, spend more money, but what would change in the way that you showed up each day? Would you post without even second guessing? Would you launch the offer? Would you get the support? What would change about your day-to-day reality, about the way that you looked at your work, about the way that you looked at yourself? 150K just in my business would feel so free, and I dropped my hospital job. Yes. And P.S., nobody has to go drop their jobs like right away. I wouldn't be afraid to charge more premium prices. I would not have the second teaching job. Yeah, just say it out loud. Let yourself say it. Let yourself see it. Let yourself be seen with what you want. If you posted this every single day on the internet, how much more likely do you think you would show up for it? I was listening to a Gary Vee podcast today, and he was like, I think everyone who has a fitness goal, like a weight loss goal, should post their weight every day on their Instagram stories. Because I promise you, like that level of external accountability, they would reach it no problem if you did it every day. So even if you're just sharing it here with us, that's a great step. I wouldn't be worried about what people are thinking or saying about me. It would give me so much more motivation to show up. It would feel more motivating to post. I wouldn't be afraid. So now the question is, are you going to wait until you have that amount to feel more free? Do you have to wait to have that amount to post more, to take it more seriously? Do you have to wait to have that amount to charge more premium prices? Or does that get to be something you do now? And again, that's the decision. And it's a yes or no. Are you going to wait to have the income to feel the feeling and to change the way that you show up? Yes or no? Yes means, yeah, I'm going to wait to have the income before I show up. No is like, no, I'm going to go for it right now. Because while the income or that number might not be in your bank account right now, the way to getting it is not by waiting for it to come. It's to decide, okay, if I'm going to feel more free, more motivated, more unapologetic, I'm not going to care what other people do, and I'm going to show up and I'm going to post, how much more likely is that number going to come quicker? Melanie is like, I can't even wait. I'm posting a story right now. And that's how it should feel. That's how the shift should feel. It should feel like you're laying the layer of the ceiling, that you're literally deciding, I'm jumping higher. Melanie just jumped an extra foot right now because she said, I'm not waiting for the amount for the clients or for the permission to come. I'm going to jump higher first. Such a great example. Now the question becomes, what would you stop tolerating the moment that number became normal? When you have the 333K, when you have the 100K, when you have the 5K months, the 10K months. I love how everyone went with like very standard numbers. Well, we had one angel number in there. What would you stop tolerating? What would you stop doing? Because here's the thing, on the journey to shifting your identity, to becoming the standard and the person who earns and holds this amount consistently, which again, the how, we don't have to know how. We're going to talk about the how tomorrow. There are going to be things that you have to let go of and then you have to stop tolerating because the version of you right now, with the circumstances and the environment and the beliefs that you have right now, is keeping you where you are. So if we want to grow into the standard and the identity of the woman who's creating this, we have to reflect on what we're not tolerating and what we're not bringing to that next level. I'm not the same person with the same reality, with the same people, with the same lifestyle as when I was making 3K months in my business, as I am now that we make, you know, 10 times more than that. And I want you to be specific. So, what does tolerating smallness look like? Feel like I have to do things I don't want to do. What is that specifically? I'd love a couple of specific examples. I don't do standard anything. I would say no to smaller deals or cheap clients. Yes. Thank you, Nicole, for sharing that. Mhm. What would you say no to? I remember one time I had to like really say to there's so many different examples, but I would have to say to myself, okay, like I am no longer tolerating like scrolling on social media. Like I literally don't have time. I'm working a 12-hour shift, super packed, exhausted, go home tired. I have to wake up early the next day. Like I don't have time to scroll on social media. My social media time is posting my business, posting my brand, posting for my clients. I also had to decide I wasn't tolerating sharing other people's business, right? So why am I going to share someone else's post? That's not building my brand. I got to build my own brand. I got to reach out to my own clients. When I was jumping from the 100K to the 200K mark, I had to stop tolerating just letting clients come to me. I have really great organic social media outreach. It is beautiful. I love how many of you that we've connected with, but guess what? I have to I have to stop tolerating my ego being like my clients will come to me. It's like, no, if I want to be somebody who goes to that next level, who's earning 400, 500K, seven figures per year, I'm putting my ego aside. I'm going to reach out to people. People have the, you know, the heart to follow me. Why can't I reach out to them? Why can't I follow up with them? Um, so I would stop tolerating people who want to come to my class for free. Yes, new standard, Camelia, some like your time has to be paid for like the most part. Of course, there's going to be like free marketing things. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Working in my family business, I could do stuff that makes me feel alive again. hmm So maybe it's I have to stop tolerating like staying extra hours or picking up extra shifts. That was one thing I had to do in nursing. It was like, no, I'm no longer picking up overtime. Nobody has to know what I'm doing with my time, but I'm not tolerating that. Stop being shy about what I bring to the table when opportunities come. Having a more consistent and efficient routine. I love it. I want a couple more of these. I know a few more of you are reflecting on it. Either or, what would change or what would you stop tolerating? Absolutely. I said no to a pageant wanting me to do a free interview class. I felt bad at first, and I have strong interview skills and should be compensated 100%, even if it's, 50 bucks, 100 bucks, 250 bucks. There will be times when it's a yes to do something, but there's also a part of you that gets to say, you know what? No, like this is my new standard. Resigning clients that don't align with my goals and values simply for the money. Oh my goodness, yes. Not all money is good money. Absolutely not. And the thing is, Savannah, too, it's like when you're accepting clients at this rate or opportunities at this rate, you're literally closing off your energy and identity from the bigger opportunities that can come. Can I share with you all that I had a situation recently? I'm just going to leave it at that, where I've had to like let go of some things that are just out of my control. And last week, we had the two most incredible, most aligned women join our Empire Mastermind. When I tell you that for I think 6 months, we have the same cohort of people, which I love. Like we have the best women there. We've got, I think Bianca's in there. I saw Bianca on here. Natalie was in it before. Natalie's going to be joining again. Um, all of the gals who are in there, like, you all know who you are. The same cohort for 6 months, people would inquire but not join. And within 1 week, I will say 2 weeks, I'll give myself a little bit of leeway time. Within 2 weeks of making a decision and letting go of something that no longer aligned, and that freed up my energy and time, two clients joined the Empire Mastermind. So we have to be willing to say, like, I'm not tolerating this anymore, not because it's not uncomfortable, right? Like, it could be good, it could be an opportunity, it could be a connection, but it's because me saying yes to this is me saying no to something else that is actually more aligned with the standard I'm rising to. Okay, I love the reflection. So this is how this is how the identity shift for Big Queen Money starts. You move, you decide first. You own the belief, you own the goal, you take yourself seriously. And then the money, the strategy, and the clients follow. At no point in building my business did anybody tell me, Maria, are you going to go for bigger? Like my parents weren't asking me, Maria, are you going to like raise your rates and raise your standard? No, people were telling me, are you going to pick up that extra nursing shift? None of my clients messaged me and said, Maria, are you going to make sure that you raise your prices? None of my peers in the other programs I was with were checking in and seeing if I was like making my goals in my life seriously. It was up to me to decide what's the reality I'm creating over the next 10, 20, 30 years. I had to decide first. You have to decide first. Decide the belief that you have in yourself is unlimited. You're a grasshopper that can jump 10, 20 feet in the air. The higher you jump, the farther you will go. And then, because I know that the biggest thing that some of you are asking, and I want you to drop the word how in the chat. If this is what's coming up, you're like, okay, Maria, I just wrote this down, but now I don't know how I'm going to do this. If that's the biggest like thing that's on your mind, right? Because the ego and the mind likes to hold on to logistics. It's like, but how am I going to do that? One, we're going to talk about that tomorrow. But two, the how follows your decision and your belief in yourself. Money follows beliefs. And here's the thing, like clients and opportunities can always tell the difference. Like people can tell when you're doing things just kind of like out of habit and out of what you're being told to do versus if you truly like deeply believe in yourself. So you move first and then money follows. It happens like this, like 99.9% of the time. It might not always move and happen right when you want to, and that's why you can't just decide once. You have to decide day after day after day. And when I tell you all that I remember the days, it was, I believe it was January of 2023 that I had just invested in 9 months of coaching. It was a five-figure investment. And I remember going to work. Like I was excited. I was like, yes, I decided I made the investment. We're building the brand. I was preparing for um no, sorry, I'd already won my international pageant. I was preparing for a different competition. And I remember thinking to myself, like, okay, when is it gonna move? When are things gonna happen? And then I remember I was exhausted. And then it was like negative 20 degrees out. And then I had to wake up at 6 a.m. to go to work in my nursing job. And then I had to miss a couple calls because of my job. The decision doesn't just happen when we're on a call and when we're hype and we're like, yes, this is the identity, I'm moving for it. The decision happens every single day in the follow through. Every single day when you say, I'm taking my goal and my vision for myself seriously. It happens every day when you say, no one else is going to come pat me on the back and tell me go bigger but me. You move, you decide. You don't just decide once, you decide day after day. It's a continuous commitment, and building a bigger brand, building bigger belief, and building a bigger reality requires a continuous recommitment to the process. So I want you to drop the word commit. If that's not just something you're committing to today, but you're committing to recommitting every single day for yourself. Nicole says commit. Camelia says commit. Aveline, commit. Natalie, commit. Because that's what I want. You're going to feel really amazing after these trainings. And then if you're in VIP with us, you get so much extra support too. But I won't be there every single day. Even if we work together in something like Empire, we get 3 or 4 days a week, but you're there doing it every single day. And you have to find that recommitment to yourself. Before I go into today's homework, I do want to remind you all and share, just because we had a lot of gals join towards the end, that right after our free event, so we also have a training tomorrow. That is all on the strategy. That's all on the framework of how you're actually going to take the identity and the number you have and break it down into actions and a strategy to make it real. But then afterwards, we also have 2 weeks to put this into action. And this is one, you're going to start off with completing. This is going to be sent out tomorrow night. So Natalie, Melanie, Nicole, a whole bunch of you are in, a few of you are in VIP. It's not too big of a group, but I think it's going to grow after this. You're going to get a survey where I'm going to send you a personalized audit in our Telegram group based on your responses. When it comes to your goal for your income, where things are at right now, I'm going to send you a direct audit based on when you fill that out. That's going to be sent out tomorrow evening. On Wednesday, for 2 weeks from Monday to Thursday, we have an open Telegram chat. This is where you can drop anything you want. I say one thing per day, you'll see. One thing per day that you want me to review. It can be your content, it can be your offer, it could be your action, it can be your price, it could be your question about how I do things. But essentially, every day, Monday to Thursday, for 2 weeks, you have me in Telegram support. And even if you're in there and you're not 100% sure what to ask or what to get feedback on, but you see other women asking questions and making moves and asking for support and sharing where they're at, and you're hearing me give them feedback, you're going to get so much value out of it just by being in a space where other people are moving and in momentum. And then there's also 2 other calls, and this is all, by the way, yes, like I'm not raising the price from this amount. It's $33. There's 2 other calls. I'm going to drop the link in the chat, and then we're going to go into the homework after today. The next 2 Mondays, my calls are always recorded. We have a couple gals. We have Adeline from the Netherlands, so thank you for staying up and being here. But the calls are at 5 p.m. EST the next 2 Mondays. They're always going to be recorded, and you will get the replays, but you do have to be registered for VIP. And these are like higher level strategy, like money making calls. So we're not going to do a ton of identity mindset things. Like we're getting down to brass taxes, and we're getting you strategy and support to make some big queen money. So we're putting it in motion. You get specific coaching from me. You get the benefit of seeing how other people are moving. So they might be asked, like Melanie might be asking a question that you haven't thought about. And it's going to be extremely powerful for 2 weeks for all of you. And that's just $33. The last day to join is tomorrow evening because we start Thursday. Let me know if you join VIP, ladies. I'd love to know who else is going to be with us. And PS, yo, that's like a steal. Every single one of you here should be in VIP. Okay, let's go into, I need to get the link for the private work. So your homework for tomorrow, one is that I want you to take the next not the next, but I want you to take 10 to 20 minutes to complete the day one worksheet. Let me just get it, ladies. I don't know if y'all can see it here. Can someone give me a thumbs up in the chat if you can see like the other channel, like the other page that I just shared? Okay, I see thumbs up here. Okay, beautiful. This is our Big Queen Money. Amazing. Thank you, Melanie. Thank you. I'm going to drop, hold on, hold the phone. Let me get the link. You're all going to get a copy of this. Don't worry. So, this is the work that we just did. It's just a space with a few more extra questions for you to reflect on. Because I get that this is like a drop in the bucket of the revelations you're going to have on what you actually want to create. And so, this is a space where you can like write down your number, share a few other reflections, and bring it to life for you. So, first, let me drop this in the chat here. Hold on. You should be able to take this and make a copy of it. So, I'm going to drop the link in the chat. That'll allow you to make a copy. Please don't edit the original because everyone else needs to access their homework. So, again, identifying your ceiling, how it's impacting the way that you show up, really getting honest about what you're waiting for. More things will likely come up after this session, claiming your number, and then going through and really thinking about like, what does this mean for me? Why do I want this? We don't just throw out numbers for no reason. Like, really think about why do I want this? What do I need to do? What do I need to let go of? And let more come up as you sit and do this. So, what I want you to do is take 10 to 20 minutes, set a vibe, set a timer, get a candle, right? Have some tea or wine. I know it's a Monday, but who cares? Let yourself fully do the worksheet. It's not a very long one, uninterrupted. You're going to have a lot of insights from that. And then I also want you to write the number that you claimed, whether it was 10K per month, 5K per month, 250K, 333K. Write it somewhere where you can see it. Write it somewhere where you can see it. Again, Big Queen money, if you want to expect it, you have to respect it. And we don't respect money by being afraid of it, by being afraid of talking about it. So write that number somewhere that you can see. If you have sticky notes, a piece of paper on your agenda, on your journal, something like that. And then the other thing is your public declaration. And what I want you to do on your Instagram story, you can do a voice to talk to your camera, you can type this over a photo, but I want you to make a declaration publicly because that's something else that we said. Is this idea that having public accountability really calls you forward and up, really says like, okay, this is my line in the sand moment. Because here's the thing, gals, a lot of women, and this is just how it is, they're going to take these trainings, be like, good, see you next year. The ones who are really going to make this happen for yourself. And P.S., I believe all of you can do this. Like, I am not over here some like crazy entrepreneur that's special and I'm like unique. And I mean, I am unique. I am a unicorn, but like, I decided and I declared over and over again. And when you have this public facing accountability, now it's like your whole community expects you to show up that way. And you just do. So, your public declaration for Instagram, you get to decide. I gave you some examples. You're going to tag me so I know that you did it. And I can send you a voice note and be like, yes, you are going to freaking do this because I believe every single woman, especially, needs someone cheering her on, needs someone believing in her vision for her too, and sharing that I know it's possible for you. And here's the thing about the way I do coaching, whether it's pageants or business, there are no limits. I am not afraid of anybody's success. Your success amplifies everybody's success. Everybody wins bigger when you win bigger. Everybody makes more money when you make more money, when you have more impact. So I want you to know I'm genuinely in your corner wanting this for you too. So this is how I'll know what you're stepping into. You can say, I'm stepping into bigger results, a better, like my biggest year ever. I just decided like I'm doing really big things. I'm going into my biggest season. I'm bringing you all with me. I gave you a couple of different like fun examples, but take it and make it your own too. And I want to hear what it is that you're stepping into. And I want to hear you declare it to the world. And most importantly, I want you to declare it for yourself. I think the best way to do this is talking to the camera because that's how you're going to hear the words and you're going to hear your belief and other people are going to hear it. And it's like 10 times more magnified. And then I also want to celebrate your declaration of what you're stepping into. And if you feel awkward or weird or anything like that, I just want you to know I've done this like 100 times. 100 times. You don't need to. Sure, each of you could just, post more and declare it and write the sticky note. You don't need to do the public declaration. There's no giveaway attached to it. But it's for you to buy into the belief of yourself. And at this point in time, that is the biggest thing that you can grow. You might not be able to grow your income to 6 figures, 10K months, 250K years, 7 figure years by tomorrow, but you can grow the belief in yourself and the decision and declaration. That's why I want you to do the public declaration tomorrow or after this call. So I want you to write yes. If you're like, okay, Maria, I'm going to do both. I'm going to do both. You're not here for me to like coddle you and be like, okay, good job. No, there's actual homework. You got to do stuff if you want to make more money, if you want to have more clients. You don't have to say how much money you want to make to the world, but just say, like, I'm deciding I'm going bigger. I'm building a bigger business. I'm building a bigger brand. I'm going all in on this. This is what I meant to do. Take the words that resonate for you. Share it with your community. Because guess what? Then they're expecting you to show up like that. And then they're excited to watch how you step into that. Like now their eyes are going to be on you. Yes, Camelia, she's going to do it after. Okay, thank you for being here. Amazing. Tomorrow, we take the woman who you just decided to be. We're giving her a framework. We're giving her the strategy that matches your big queen identity so that you can make the big queen money that you are here to. Crown, experience, no experience, page, no page, doesn't matter. We're giving you the framework that you can literally start from the very ground up. And one thing I want you all to know is that it is never too late to start. Never too late. Each one of you has the same time, has the same opportunity, has the same potential because you've all just decided. So I cannot wait. I'm going to go on an amazing walk. Thank you all for being here live. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Nicole. Both let's go. Eveline, Savannah, Melanie, Kanaya. If I'm saying your names wrong, I'm so sorry, but I know that you're all here and I see you all, Natalie. I will see you all tomorrow for day 2. And P.S., y'all join VIP. Okay? Period, point blank. Let's have 2 weeks together. Amazing. Thank you, ladies. I will see you all tomorrow for day 2. And I can't wait to see and hear your responses and insights. Tomorrow, you don't have to share your homework with me, but I will ask in our chat tomorrow how it felt to do, the homework and your biggest insight. You're welcome, Christine. You're welcome, Anika. Hopefully I'm saying Anika. All right, ladies.